Hello, hello, folks. And again, I had the wrong camera selected. Ah. So let's do it again. Yay. Hey, folks. AJ, the CEO here. I don't know why. I'm too busy answering comments that I messed up my stuff. So again, thank you so much for stopping by, folks. AJ, the CEO here. And we try to answer as many questions as we possibly can about media ministry. Guess what? I don't know everything, but I tried to make your journey just a little bit easier with the so many times I've broken stuff. And hopefully we can help out. And I'll open up another browser because we are streaming at a bunch of locations right now. We're on Facebook, we're on Twitch, and obviously we're here on YouTube. So let me get my comments here because I see some people are asking some questions and I want to be able to respond to them. All right, folks. So again, thank you so much. We try and do this every Friday. Sometimes we change up the schedule a little bit. Last week, I was getting some electrical work done here at the house. That's why I did it later. But let me know. I am flexible about change. That's important. Change. And I didn't verify my sound. Give me a second. I'm assuming that I'm fine because I haven't heard anybody complain about it. So I'm going to leave it on here. All right. So if we've passed another week, so we have a roundtable coming up this Sunday. You can get all the information on our Facebook group. Go ahead and check out, go to facebook.com and check out and search for Modern Media Ministry Made Easy and answer the 3 questions. Don't live stream inside the group. And you're in. And all the information for our call is there. We do it every other week unless something comes up. And this is just a group, a mastermind of media ministries from all over the world. We're 2,800 strong, and we're growing every single day to help us work together. And, you know, what's the biggest trick? For us to fight amongst ourselves. And if we work together, guess what? We can accomplish great things. That's what it's all about. If I don't get to your question, folks, know that you can email me at questions@ajhomes.com. This is the graphic I was looking for in my other stuff. I'm changing over my stuff here, and we're going to talk about that. I'm glad we started off with change because I hope what you see what's going on here, shows that I am just as flexible about changing as everybody else, that we need to do to be more effective. Also, if you ever want some information, folks, I have car and plane ticket and will travel. You can always hit me up at ajhomes.com/consultations. Me or D will get back in touch with you. And just be aware, folks, for the last 3 years, the second week of December, I shut down business completely so that I can, refocus on what our goals are for next year, as well as it's my baby girl's birthday in that month. So I spend all the time with my little one. So just being mindful of that. I've been leveraging a lot more stuff, folks. If you haven't noticed, YouTube has launched handles. I did a video about that while I was live coming back from Washington, D.C. So please be aware of that. And why did somebody name their channel handle? So anyway, let me show you how all that works if you have not done it so yet. In here, you will get an email, or you can just go to youtube.com/handle, not handles, handle, and it shows. So right now, this was already reserved because I already had this. The same way my Formation Sports is the exact same way because I was already over 100. So just be mindful. Let me see if I can do some other pages at the same time. So I'm waiting for my church's stuff to come up. You don't see it yet because you will get a bar here at the top that says that you need to do that. So if I go here with that account logged in, and again, folks, this is first come, first serve. All right. So I'm not an administrator over our church's page. So I'm just an editor. So I don't have access to see that prompt, but I am over this one. Let me see if Good Shepherd has it yet. All right, so we go to handle. And again, it's funny how the term comes around. I remember in my first book, we talked about that. So yeah, so Good Shepherd, they haven't gotten it yet. So be mindful. You will see it in your studio, and you will get an email on the account that set up the page that you got when it's available. Now, I've been leveraging the handles. That's how I was normally talking to everybody in here. So, but we're used to doing it a certain way. So let me go in here and let me move my mic out the way and let's holler at some folks here. Anthony, what is going on? Thank you so much for stopping by. Parker, hello, hello. Digitorial Media, sorry if I pronounced that wrong. Hello, hello. Francisco, hello, sir. Mike, hello, hello. Monty, what's going on, sir? Let's see. I'm going to get back to some of y'all's questions here. Darius, hello, hello. Princeton Banks, hello, hello. Travis, hello. Joey from the UK, what's going on? Kelvin, hello, hello. Brother Art, She's Destiny, hello. Augustine, what is going on? Raphael, hello. Now I do have some folks here on Facebook as well too, so I'm hollering at y'all. So I'm not ignoring y'all. I'm just going through the feed that we got here. I'm gonna get to y'all's questions as well too. The McCoy Agency, hello, hello from Kentucky. Brian Jones, hello. I just responded back to your last comment as well too. Lewis, hello, hello. Off on Facebook. Leo, I see you. I'm gonna circle back on these questions as well too. Darren, hello. Bruce, hello. MA16V3, what's going on? Let me see. Steve Hawkins, hello, hello. Rhonda, hello, hello. James, hello. Mr. Clarence, hello. Angel, hello. Aaron, hello, hello. Scott, what is going on? So, folks, I am in crunch time. I was doing a video last night, and I stopped because I was just like, ooh, this is so nerdy and geeky. I don't know if anybody's going to be interested in this. I was walking through, and I'll show y'all what I was doing, and I'll put the video out if you're really interested. I'm excited because next Friday, we have our Bible trivia at Signs and Wonders. I'm excited about that, and I'm reaching out. My leg itches, so sorry. I'm excited about that. Michael Baldwin, hello, hello. I'm excited about that. So we got a lot of stuff. I did a video showing how I have ProPresenter set up, and a bunch of y'all have asked me to show how I did it in Presenter, which is what I did originally when I did this at first at Antioch. So we're still gonna do the same thing. We're leveraging a whole bunch of other stuff, but I'm doing a lot more things because I want to set this up. And ultimately, now that I have this thought in my mind, what I want to do is I want to package this whole thing up and kind of show y'all so that if you want to ever do this stuff is actually bundled for you. And I have my screen turned so it's vertical, so I have more space here. So my mouse is giving me a little bit of issues, but let me go into here real quick, some nerdy stuff for you if y'all are into it. Now, if you do not know what ETL is in SQL, you might not like this, but I want to show you what I've done to make this stuff kind of simple. So what I do is, this is my background of what I've done before. So personal database, and then we're going to look up Bible trivia. So inside of this database, I have over 1,217 questions inside of here that will give me random stuff that I can always come in here and pick any question. And for anybody who wants to know some SQL, I can say, if I want to, we have 6 rounds, but 5 rounds with questions for each. So I can say where ID is in, select top 4 ID from Bible trivia, order by new ID. So when I run this, it will give me random questions every single time when I run this. And now let me add one thing, because I do have a scripture reference in here. So I can say also where scripture is not null, because I want to be able to always have a scripture to reference my answer. So now every time I run this, I will, why is it only giving me 4? That was strange. It gave me 3 here. Well, we'll figure that out. But we're going to go, and it gives me random questions here. And I actually made a stored procedure to do this. And then we also, so what is that called? SP, I can't remember the name of it, because this is what I did in the in the video that y'all have not seen. I don't know. I might release it to members and Patreon folks. So I have rounds, and I can say, how many rounds am I going to do? I'm going to do 5. And if I run it, now it's generated random questions telling me round 1, round 2, round 3, round 4 for my stuff here. And then I actually have another stored procedure for one of our other rounds, round 5, is actually going to be a sort the Bible. All right. So if I run this, this will randomly give me 8 books of the Bible, 4 Old Testament, 4 New, and you have to put it in order. And I'm only giving the people 60 seconds to do it. So if I run it, boom, I have the order for me. And it sorts it alphabetically. I put this in the slide. They have 60 seconds that they got to sort everything out. So let me know if you want some other stuff. I want to generate this to where it's a program that you just run. It generates all this stuff. You copy and paste it, and it makes the game easy, and it's very repeatable. And all I have to do now is just add questions to that table, and now that's in the rotation. So the questions will always change. So again, as I went into it, I was like, man, this is kind of deep. I didn't know if anybody wanted to do that or not, but let me know. Mike said, there are a lot of nerds out here. Put it out and let the nerds come out. Okay, I will do that. All right. So let's get to some of y'all's questions, and I want to make sure I don't forget anything. Oh, if y'all haven't noticed, we did an announcement about it, folks, that the Blackmagic ATEM Mini, the first one that started a lot of the growth on my channel, that has been that's been sunset. It is gone. If you can find one, they've dropped it down in price to $195 because the ATEM Mini Pro now replaces that. Now, I don't have no crystal ball or nothing like that, but the fact that they've dropped all those prices, something is telling me that it's going to be a 4K version coming soon or something. That's what I really believe, because if they've dropped all this stuff, and honestly, at this point, at $295 to get a 4 camera with multi-view switcher that can live stream, man, that should be essential. Even if you already got an ATEM, those things are so cheap that that's almost the same price, except for these little small capture cards. That should be a fail-safe that y'all have in a bag, personally. That's what I just think. But anyway, I think I have blabbed enough. Let's go back and look at some of these questions here. And Facebook, I am here. Twitch, I'm here as well too. Adam, hey, see you on there. I don't know why you didn't show up on my feed here, but I see you, Adam. I appreciate you being on there. That's the one thing I would say with vMix Social. For some odd reason, it's slow to do updates on Facebook. But oh well. All right, let's get to our first question here. And give me maybe I should do a poll here. What do y'all think about the my new thumbnails? I'm trying to implement the stuff that I learned at Vid Summit. Let me know. Hold on, bad. No opinion. All right. Because again, hopefully y'all know that when it comes to YouTube, it's about influence. It's actually not just YouTube, it's everything. It's about the influence. We're going to start talking about some mind stuff. And I think I'm trying to stall here so I can get back to the first question. All right. Digitorial Media. Good morning, Brother AJ. Thank you for all that you do. I need some encouragement. I am a longtime IT consultant in New York City and pivoted my skills to media ministry, but I get zero traction in my community. Brother, you are in good company. That's the same way I started. I, like I just showed you, I was doing stuff as tech support. I've done level 1, level 2, level 3, level 4. I've been an implementation technician at a software company. And then I moved over to just straight SQL. Then I moved over to HEDIS for the medical field. I've been in all that stuff. So media was never anything I took classes on. So you're in good company. You'll be surprised in this community. There's a lot of people who have a similar type of background as you. So you got it. You got it, man. If this dude right here can do it, you can do that as well too. But a follow up, it says, so I take on work I have no passions for. Now, I'm going to just be honest with y'all. This is the same way I run my media ministry and lead it. I would rather, I don't want anybody that's in my ministry that doesn't have a passion, because everyone has a calling, all right? And for you to be in a ministry that's not your calling, that's going to just tear you down, and that will tear the ministry down. My role as a leader in whatever ministry is to try and help you find your unique gift and calling. That's what it's all about. So if I have people in the media ministry and it's not their thing, I'm like, look, it is no hard feelings. Can I help you? Can I work with you to try and find what your passion is? Because with no passion, no excitement in what you're doing, and more importantly, no purpose in what you're doing, you're going to get burnt out, frustrated, start to get angry, and things like that. So if this is not your thing, man, it's not your thing. It's no hard feelings or nothing like that. But you need to be, what they say, to thine own self be true. If that's not your calling, man, don't try and force this round peg into this round stick into the term. Don't try and put this round peg in a square hole or something like that. So that's what my encouragement is, man. Let's see. We're on this other page here. All right, Princeton Banks has a question. My church is temporarily using another church to have service. Our live streaming is skipping too much. Is there any way to get this resolved without getting faster internet? Now, there's a bunch of things that can go into that. First off, if you're having a performance issue with your live stream, yes, it could be the upload is a problem. It could be that your computer is the problem. It can't handle what you're trying to do. It could be that both of those are fine and your settings are too high. So process of elimination, we need to work it down. So the question I would ask you, Princeton, were you ever able to live stream with the Mac and the equipment that you were using? Because if you do, then we know which direction to go. Help me with that. And I know I asked some of these questions you're not going to know until you get there, because you're a musician, just like me, started. So just let me know. You can hit me up at questions@ajhomes.com. And then, with any follow-up stuff, and we can try and help you from there. Ralph has a question. How do I not get a copyright notice on YouTube on a church live stream? Well, there's a good and a bad answer to that. First off, the easy thing is just don't use stuff that you don't own at all. You can't place any stuff that you do not have written consent, you haven't made yourself, or you don't have a license for. Now, there are a bunch of clowns out here claiming that they own stuff that they don't, that honestly everybody's going to have an issue with, because it's just stupid people exploiting the system. That's everywhere, unfortunately. So let me see if I can show you an example of the tomfoolery that is out here, that honestly, you can have all the licenses in the world. When you got bad actors out there, it ain't going to change anything. So here I'm on Good Shepherd, and they always get hit with dumb stuff. So let's look right here. They got a copyright claim for Goodness of God. This ain't the song that they're trying to claim. It ain't. And it's not even playing. Faithful. Oh, yes, you have. And all my life. That ain't no recording. That was done live. So, you just got, like, if I go in here and let's actually, like, this is, I love doing stuff like this because they don't even try to look at this stuff. So let me see. This is this guy. Like, bruh, you don't own this. And it's the system being broken. I mean, that's German, first off. That's not the same thing. How do you avoid it? First off, make sure you have a license for everything that you're doing. But stuff like this is always going to happen because of bad actors trying to exploit some stuff. So I don't think that was this guy specifically, but I don't know. So I'm just going to dispute this right now. This was done live by musicians and choir in a church service, and the matching song does not match the music being used. All right. So I go through this, and most of the time, especially if they're bad actors, it's the whole copyright content ID system is just stupid, to be quite honest. I mean, the implementation, I think, is dumb because when I dispute this isn't going back to YouTube. It's going back to the person who laid claim to this. And if they say it's not, that's it. Now, the next phase after this is you could go to court. And most of the time, they try to intimidate you. Bad actors try to intimidate you for that. And then they're like, oh, we're going to do this. Now, if you push, it will take the court. And most of the time, they back out when they see that you're not, because they would have to prove in a court of law that they actually own that stuff. And most of these folks don't. So how do you avoid the copyright stuff? Just know that if you're playing in their playground, you got to play around with their rules. And this, especially Facebook's stuff, is just beyond broken because people have exploited it. And there's no verification on either of these sides to show that, hey, if I'm saying that I own this song, there's no checks in place to actually do on Facebook and YouTube side to say that they actually own that stuff. Any of y'all can go in, make a Google account, and say that you own something. And there is no verification. That's why the system is broken. But how do you avoid that? Use stuff like me. All of my music, I use Epidemic Sound that I use on all of my channels. That gives me a license to use, but that might not be appropriate for churches. You could go to audiojungle.net and buy intro music that gives you a license to use. That way you can stop that. But when it comes to music that the choir and everything is doing, the most that you can use is lean on fair use. But then sometimes bad actors still, like right now, if you try to do Hezekiah Walker's Every Praise, whoever has, I don't know if it's legitimately Hezekiah Walker's company or production company or who owns the rights to that song, they will hit you instantly, no matter what. And I'm like, so you're telling me that you have a problem with me doing this gospel song in church? So it doesn't make sense. But I mean, those are the best things I can say. Unfortunately, like I said, the system is broke. Let me see. We got that question. All right, so we got, and I think Lewis, that goes to the same question. That's the exact same thing. Now, if Facebook is shutting it off, there's an issue with that as well too. But most of the time, they don't do that unless, it's been kind of crazy. Now, let me say this now. I've been championing this for the last 7 years. Whatever you do, please, and I know this is going to be strong when I say this, please don't stupidly put on your streams, I do not own the rights to that music. You know what that is? That's a sign of guilt. Don't put that. That doesn't do anything. That doesn't help nothing. All right, just stop. That doesn't do anything at all. So, with that being said, please be mindful. Do not play anything that you do not have exclusive rights, a license for, permission, or if you haven't wrote it yourself. I wrote music and some clown tried to claim that they own the music. And I'm like, oh, that's funny because this song is under Arthur Holmes Jr., under the Library of Congress, which is me. So you don't own nothing. And then they backed out because they're playing on people's ignorance. So how do you avoid it? Now, again, Facebook is it just does some very interesting stuff. So again, those the tools, it seems like all the tools to capture when people are doing fraudulent stuff on our side as creators is way more developed than the people trying to submit stuff. So that's kind of like the thing it is. All right, Leo. Hello, AJ. I hear you speak a lot about getting hit with strikes on audio. It is illegal or against policy if I'm in a band and I sing or replay a popular song in my own voice. See, that's kind of the thing that we're talking about, and I actually sat down when I was at Vid Summit. I talked to Ian Corzin, and he's like the internet lawyer, and I was on his live stream asking him the same question. It's garbage when people do that because what they're trying to say is you own the right. Now, I'm a date myself. Did y'all know it was actually back in the day, it was illegal for you to take a tape cassette and record the radio? That was illegal. But how many people had their house getting kicked in because you were recording some stuff? No, it was very not realistic. So again, as a musician, as somebody who's written stuff, I don't want my stuff copied, but you have to be realistic. You can't get to the point where it's like you can't even hum this song without my permission. There's no way to enforce that. So I say that to be like, don't be stupid. And I say that honestly, don't be stupid. And I say that strongly for churches because I see people that will just take an MP3 player, a CD, or whatever, and just play stuff. That's wrong. You can't do that. But as a musician, you can't copyright my interpretation of a song. I never play the song exactly the same way. I always do my own twist and stuff like that because, I mean, I don't know. I need to get one of my friends who's a DJ because the way it is, you can use material if it is a unique and a new, and again, hold on, I forgot to say this. I am not a legal lawyer or anything. If you have any other questions, please consult a lawyer and all this other good stuff. All right. So there's my statement that I don't follow me because this is not legal advice. But the idea is with fair use, from what I understood from when I went to a bunch of classes, talked with some lawyers, is fair use means that you can use a certain piece of material as long as you are making something new out of context of what the original stuff is, you know? So that's the high level of what it is. So technically, as a musician, if you're just trying to, I mean, the fact that you're not in the band and you're playing it, you are going to play it differently. Even if you were playing the sheet music, your interpretations, your inflections, your crescendos, decrescendos, everything like that is different. It's not going to be the same. So how can they do that? I mean, it's almost like I don't know if y'all ever watched, I'm going to bring back some history. There's a channel called the React channel. They tried to copyright the word react. There was the other WeWork company that went bust. They tried to copyright the word we. It's some stuff that you just can't do because it's so ubiquitous that you can't own that. And that's just my personal opinion when it comes to music. Like, if I go out here and grab my piano and start playing Happy Birthday or whatever, some people might say, oh, well, I own the rights to that melody. Okay, well, what if I play Happy Birthday and I put it in a minor? Do you own the melody in a minor? No, you don't. So again, it's up to interpretation, but every time I've gotten a claim on that and I say that no, it's creative license, I'm using this in fair use, mine is done differently, I did not replicate any parts that was produced by some other company that is not owned, I produced every single part of it, every time I've won that. So long answer, but that's what I personally feel about that. But again, please consult your lawyer. Let's see. Where's our next question? All right. Let's see. I hear that question. Yeah, folks, I appreciate it. I'm working on the stuff and changing as well too. So if you don't mind, please hit the like button. It helps more than you realize. And should I do a deep dive on the analytics? Because again, I'm learning this stuff more and more every day. So let me actually show you the importance of doing that stuff. So let me get to my analytics here. And let's cut over here. Let me show you. I need y'all to make sure you're looking at this stuff. All right. So if I come down here to audience, 69.5% of the people who watch my videos in the last 28 days are not subscribed. That's the reason why we ask. I'm not asking a lot. And any of your content creators, whether you're on your ministry or streaming, this is why it is important to ask for the like and the subscribe. Again, I'm asking because I hope to earn it from you. I don't want you to just do it just to do it. If I've done something that's been beneficial to help you out, that helps me because it helps push my stuff in front of more people. All right. And I really appreciate that. So make sure you're checking out the analytics for y'all stuff, folks. I mean, you can't get any better if you don't know where you came from. All right. That's page 3. And maybe I need to move this box up instead of me looking down. All right, I answered that. All right, Kelvin here. I finally got my cameras and everything set up using the A10 Mini Pro Extreme ISO to stream, which is what I'm using right now. I'm not currently using OBS. Am I missing anything by not using OBS? No and yes. Originally at Signs and Wonders, like I'll put it this way. Can I do what I'm doing right now, streaming with the A10 directly? Yes, I could. But this, if I'm pointing the right way, this does not have any built-in features natively to the A10. That is why I'm using vMix to do this. And vMix is adding all my graphics and stuff like that. Could I do that with the A10 directly with presentation software and lower thirds? Yeah, I could. But there's no easy way outside of H2R and some other programs like that pull your comments and things like that. So no, you're not missing it. I recently introduced OBS back at my church, and we were streaming through the ATEM just so I can separate that sometimes we'll have service that goes on and it's more applicable to everybody who's there in the presence of in the sanctuary. We're doing work, altar call, and things start to get personal. We cut that off so that leaves the audience or the congregation or whoever's watching online, they're able to go about their way, and I want to separate it that way. That's the reason why I've added that back. No, you're not missing anything, but if you want to do some other features like this and the graphics and stuff like that, then that's what OBS does, or any other software like that. And Princeton answer to that is vMix. That is what I'm using. All right. So you know what? I think I'm gonna do something because we are. I haven't done a giveaway in a minute, so I'm going to leverage some of the tools for my Bible trivia and make this a little bit more interactive. We did this a couple of days ago, so let's take a small little break. Let me bring up Pro Presenter, and I also figured out my audio issue if anybody was watching that video. Let me get my screen straight. And that way we're going to present this, and it's going to be a first come, first serve for the answers, folks. So hopefully y'all got y'all's stuff in check, and we're going to see if we can answer a question for y'all. And I think I'm going to do the Bible sorting stuff because, again, I don't want to do that one because y'all could cheat. I don't like the cheaters. So I'm going to do a round 3. And we're going to see what I'm going to do with this is the winner. I'm going to give 3 winners. We're going to go through our new merch, and we're going to offer that to some folks here. So let me show you what that looks like. So our new merch, if you go over here to AJaytheCEO.com and go over the clothing, we got some new designs that are coming up. We got this one is this classic e-missionary one. We have our CSAA ministry one, and we also have our new one, which should be here today, Ministry Beyond the Four Walls. And if you go on the back, it has the logo with the church breaking the four walls. So you can pick any one of these. Our sizes go up to extra 5X, 5XL. So that's what's going to be the prize for the first 3 that can get all of these questions. And I'm going through a round, all right? So I hope y'all are ready. And let me change this so that we can, and actually let me make a tag here so I know that that timestamp is set. And I hope y'all are ready. I'm giving y'all some stalling time. And what monitor is that? That's right. All righty. I think we're ready. I hope y'all are ready. It's 4 questions, all right? So let's go. All right. Please leave them down below. It's a first come, first serve. The first 3 people are going to win, all right? And I don't know if y'all going to be able to hear the music. You probably should. Here we go. Who said, "Thy God shall be my God"? Who said that? Who said, "Thy God shall be my God"? Now put all the answers in the same comment, all right? So that way, all right. Next one. To what preservative does the Lord compare his disciples? And maybe I need to bring the music down some more. It's a little loud. To what preservative does the Lord compare his disciples? That's question number 2. All righty. Question number 3. What was the name of Joseph's youngest brother? What was the name of Joseph's youngest brother? Please put them all in one comment. Don't put them all back to back, all right? What was the name of Joseph's youngest brother? Last question. The Lord said that Jacob and Esau were 2 what in the womb? The Lord said that Jacob and Esau were 2 what in the womb? All righty, all righty. Should I do it again? I'm going to go through the questions one more time. And there's my music again. So that stuff is working. Who said that God shall be my God? Again, put all your comments in one, all the answers in one line, all right? Who said thy God shall be my God? Question number 2, to what preservative does the Lord compare his disciples? To what preservative does the Lord compare his disciples? Question number 3, what was the name of Joseph's youngest brother? What was the name of Joseph's youngest brother? That's question number 3. Question number 4, the Lord said that Jacob and Esau were 2 what in the room? The Lord said that Jacob and Esau were 2 what in the womb? All right. So we're done here. I will come back and look at some answers so that we give everything built out. All right. I'm going to give it a couple more minutes. I'm going to answer some questions and then we'll circle back to that. So again, I hope this is giving y'all some ideas, folks, of how you can spin this stuff and just take your media ministry to the next level and do some other stuff. All right. All right. We answered that question. Mr. Clarence, hello, hello. Angel would like to know, please, a camera for live streaming service, $200 budget, $500 budget, $1,000. Well, unfortunately, you're not going to get anything around the $200 mark right now just because of inflation, all this other crazy stuff. The Canon R800 has been sunset, is gone, but they still offer the Sony Handycam line. They are going for around like $220 to $250. I think the latest model is a 405. You can look at something like that. A $500 budget, honestly, that's going to be a little tight. You may be looking at one of the lower end Panasonic camcorders that could do something like that. And if you're looking at a camera that's $1,000 budget, Kind of the Sony that I'm using, the EV10, you could use that, what comes exchangeable lenses. Or honestly, you can get yourself a G40, a Canon G40 camcorder, and that's going to get you right at that budget. That's a 4K camcorder that's around like $1,099, or you might get it at a deal that'll be right at $1,000. All right, so I think we gave enough time for some answers here. So let me go back and see. Ridge Raider, man, you were so close. You were short by one. Actually, let me jump ahead. All right, now I'm seeing we only had a couple. All right, Travis is the first one that had all four. All right, so let's cut back over here and I'll show you our answers here. So, who said that God shall be my, oh, now I don't have my background going on. All right, here you go. Who said that God shall be my God? And that is Ruth. So, yep, you got that one. Second one, to what preservative does the Lord compare his disciples? And that is salt, in Matthew 5:13. What was the name of Joseph's youngest brother? That would be Benjamin. And the last question is, the Lord said that Jacob and Esau were two what in the womb? Nations. All righty. So the first one that had all of those, that was Travis. All right. That's one. Second person that had them all was Scott. Awesome. And then our third here was Ridge Raider 42. Awesome, folks. Hey, so just what you saw, that is what we're going to be streaming on this channel and at my church's channel. So y'all can always participate. I'm going to have VMix Social going on so we can bring up any comments as well too. And it's going to be fun. Y'all just don't have to worry about eating all the hot stuff. So those three people, if you do not mind, email me that. Email me a screenshot of your comment. Also, screenshot your name and your email address. Email me at questions@ajhomes.com and just do merch giveaway. All right. And then I will give you a code so that you can order from the website and have it come to you and all this other good stuff. Pick whichever one. More merch is available, folks. Again, just realize I do merch, meaning that all the profits go from that, go to our giveaways. That's why I have not done a lot of giveaways, because really haven't had a lot going into that. So I try to do this so it's self-funding, so we can help give away and do some other stuff as well too. So hopefully that helps you, and I hope y'all enjoyed that. Let me know if any of y'all are willing to do some stuff like that too, because I think it just gives a different twist on everything that we're doing from a media ministry standpoint. I mean, shoot, give y'all some other ideas. Get that camera, get that workout stuff going on. You want to have some people doing some morning exercises and stuff. You can use the same stuff. You can have the comments going. You can have a countdown timer like I have, doing certain exercises and stuff like that. Why not? My question to you, why can't you do that with your ministry? I give you an answer. There is no reason why you can't, unless it's just willingness. All righty, let's see where we left off at. We answered that question. That was Mike's. All right, number 5. MA16V3 was saying, when it comes to the ATEM, doesn't want a 4K version. I want them to continue to develop the existing features. Honestly, I wish they would add dual streaming systems to the ATEM so that you can actually stream to multiple locations. Just imagine that. The ATEM will be able to have 2 separate restream accounts, and you can restream to multiple platforms at the same time. I wish they would do something like that. And where is my mouse? That's that. Page number 5. Aaron Wilson, what's going on? Back to Princeton. Could I get the ATEM Mini Pro or Mini with my current 2 cams and scratch the Mac desktop, or would I still be skipping? Honestly, the Mini, no, don't do that. Go with the Pro. The Pro would allow you to stream directly. Now, if the Pro is experiencing it, issues with streaming, then that's your upload. The Mac will be relegated to just using the software to send where it's going to and doing some other high level features of the ATEM. But the Pro line would be able to do all the streaming for you. Pastor Isaac, hello, hello. Need to hear back from Lonnie about your aunt as well too. We get that done. Steve, well, it is going to be October 21st at 7 p.m. That's when we're going to do it. So I hope to see y'all there. I'm going to have the comments and everything going on as well too. Jerry, your video of designing video system uses a streaming computer, presenter computer, and an ATEM switcher. Can this be simplified, or is this a standard setup? Well, it all depends. A lot of times, if I did that streaming PC, that's because the ministry specifically asked for it. Personally, I don't do a streaming system anymore. I normally do the ATEM Mini Extreme to handle that from a simplicity standpoint. Because most of the ministries that I have been, this is all new to them. So I want to have as few newer devices as possible. But like in other places, if they specifically were already using OBS or vMix or something like that, they're like, our people are already doing that, so we want to maintain that. So honestly, a simplified version of that is just a presentation computer, laptop, desktop if you want. I prefer desktops because they grow with time. You can upgrade them, but you could do a laptop and then just the ATEM Mini Stream. That's it. That would be my simplified version of that. Aaron, just watch your video on the in-stream. I'm not seeing the option to live stream on my church's TikTok account. Are there certain account requirements to stream? It shouldn't be. I really haven't used TikTok that much. I only had like a couple of stuff when I just, like me, I go to all the platforms when it's something new just to secure my brand, AJ the CEO. So I really didn't use it, but I don't see any restrictions. I didn't sign up for anything to not do it or stop doing it. So I'll have to look back into it, but I didn't see anything. You know who I am? Good morning. I need a recommendation for another laptop for running OBS smoothly and DaVinci Resolve for editing my recorded events. The Asus Tough has caught my attention though. Yeah, that's what I would normally use. I have a Acer gaming laptop, which they don't make anymore. It's not available anymore, but let's see. I need to switch over to my screen here since I changed my super source. All right, so let's go here. Let's look at the Asus Tough line. And again, call me a fanboy, don't care. I stick with the AMD ones because it's just giving me better performance. So, I mean, this one right here with the 1650 would be good, but I don't know what your budget is. If I had a choice, and I don't know why they keep, I was going to say, I like the ones like this 3050 could be okay. I would like to do a 3060 if possible. Ryzen 7 and a RTX. Yeah, like this one, I think this one is sweet because that's to give you a Ryzen 7, 16 gigs of memory, and it's a 3060 GPU. I think that would work great. And I felt like I was getting ready to cough, sneeze, and burp at the same time. So my apologies. That's what I'm thinking. You might want to look in that price range. Like this one has 32 gigs of memory, but what GPU is in this? This is a 3050. This may do you good as well too. Especially with the fact you got that memory as well too. I think that would work great. I will put a link down below to that one here. Asus Tough laptop. All right. And let me go back over here to Facebook because I'm looking. I see a couple of comments that are coming in. So that's good. They're still going. All right, back to Travis. We're switching from projector and sidewall to displays on the platform or back wall. Any tips or hardware to use and how to set this up? Switching from a projector and sidewall wall to displays on the platform. I mean, you just got to figure out now, are you doing a digital display or are you doing a television? You just got to figure out mainly just going to be the connection. When we did our digital wall, what send our signal to the digital wall is just a single, or excuse me, 2 Ethernet connections. That was it. Other times I've done fiber HDMI or I've done SDI. That's mainly it. I just need to know what type of display you're doing. But pretty simple. Just make sure you got power there and make sure, even if you don't, run fiber, SDI, and do Ethernet. It's better just to run them all. So that way, if you ever decide to change something in the future, you're already prepared. Hintley Green. Hey, AJ, is there a way to fix audio through OBS and not the mixer? And is there a resolution to NDI not working in the updated version? Let me go to the last one first. That is not being fixed yet until the developers fix that. That's why NDI is not working. So the developers for NDI or OBS, it's just a matter of time. You just got to be patient for them to fix that. Now, can you do adjustments in audio in OBS? Yeah, you can. There are a bunch of plugins. I know Mike told me about one. The name is escaping me right now, but I'll remember it, or anybody else can plug it in there. But yes, you can make adjustments. But realize when you're making the adjustments in OBS, that is the final mix that's coming. So if you got somebody that is really sharp in the alto section, you can't adjust that for the live stream. That has to be done in the mixer. All you can do is do the overall composition and EQ for the master mix that's coming to OBS. Let me see who mentioned me in here. Let's see. So let me know, and then we'll hopefully how about Hintley there, folks, who if y'all are using any OBS plugins for your audio. I do all my stuff through the board, so I am not aware of any ones, but I know some of y'all actually do use that. All right, Steve, I'm starting to notice that YouTube puts copyright claims with no restrictions now. Before it would say no monetization. Yeah, they're making a change going into the year to compete with TikTok and Instagram to where they're going to actually do profit sharing with the artists that own and the labels that own the music. Instead of just blanketly locking it, it's going to do a split. They're working on that. So maybe that's a part of that change. Otis, howdy. Dolt Ministries. Good morning, sir. Can you demonstrate how to live stream Zoom, Facebook, and YouTube with the ATEM at the same time? As best as I can, I will try. So first, for Facebook and YouTube, well, there's a couple of ways that you can do that. Now, I'm using the ATEM right now, ATEM Mini Extreme. So what y'all are seeing is the ATEM over USB. Actually, it's 2. Over the HDMI out is going to my vMix with a capture card. That's 1. So the vMix system or my web presenter, that's handling the stream. That's 1 stream right there. And you have 2 more USB outs. So either one of those can go to Facebook as a webcam, and it can stream. So you're using the computer that's connected to stream, and the other one can do the exact same thing. That's 3. And then the ATEM can stream itself. So you got a couple of options. So how I have done that, and I'm trying to say which way I can do it without my codes and stuff showing up. I'll put some junk here, so that should work. All right, so the first thing is right now, if I come over here, you would pick whatever platform that you want. If you want to do both of them, honestly, the easiest thing for you to do personally and let the hardware that's built to handle your stream do it is sign up for Restream. And you're talking about $19 a month, and then you can stream to 5 platforms at the same time. Now, Zoom just sees everything as a webcam with your ATEM connected to it. So if I log into my stuff right now, and so if I come in here, I can go to my video, and as you can see, I'm just picking the Blackmagic, and I'm picking my audio. Well, actually, I'm using my mixer, my Rode, but I would come in here and just change this to the Blackmagic, and then anybody that's in Zoom will just see coming from there. So that's handling your Zoom, that's handling your stream at the same time. So I think that was mainly it. And I think I showed a little bit too much information. So I got to go back and edit that stuff out. But hopefully that was it. Because you said Zoom, we did. Facebook and YouTube. There's a couple of ways, like I said, you could do that. Have the ATEM stream to Facebook, then have the other USB out because you have two of them. Because video streams from the ATEM are one-to-one. Audio, you can have one-to-many, meaning that the audio out coming from your ATEM can go to multiple applications, but the video can only go to one at a time. So one USB out can go to a computer that has Facebook up, and you pick Facebook as a webcam and it can see it. That's one. The second one is the feed that Zoom sees. So that's two. And then the ATEM itself can stream. That's three. So you can have it streaming to YouTube. The ATEM is streaming to YouTube itself. USB 1 out is going to Zoom. USB 2 is going to Facebook. You just got to make sure that your computer can handle that. A simpler way is to just sign up for Restream, let Restream, the ATEM streams to Restream, Restream streams to Facebook and YouTube, and then the USB out for video and audio is what's sent over to Zoom. Back to Lewis. Thank you. This is golden. I got my answer. My praise dancers were dancing to a song and it got to shut off. Yeah, we used to do that at Antioch when we had the praise team. I would put up a Be Right Back copyright stuff so that it never went out. And y'all know that y'all can sign up for Vimeo for free. You're limited on your amount of space, but if you're only doing one channel, that would actually work for you. And where is my mouse? There it goes. All right. So like, for example, it threw me off because I opened up OBS and I'm like, I'm not using that camera angle. So like right now, this is OBS and I'm using my PTZ that's over the network. That's how you're seeing it. And I was like, this isn't right. But, and I just went blank. What was that question? Yeah. Oh, yeah. I was going to copyright stuff. See, So in here, if I go to media ministry, so I have a Be Right Back here, and it says live stream will resume. Live stream will resume because audio is temporarily disabled because copyrighted material is currently being played. I used to do that all the time when we had praise dancers because they danced to the track. Now, when I was playing in the band and ran the music there, when they finished dancing, I had me and the band would play our own interpretation of the song that sounded really close, and that's what got us through. So be mindful of that. But like I said, you can sign up for an account at Vimeo, and it's free. The lower model, and then just live stream, I mean, not live stream, but record your praise dancers and upload it there and link it there. Because Vimeo, as long as you're not doing nothing stupid, they won't hit you with anything like that. All right. Let's go to our next one here. So Darren was saying the same thing. Ridge Raider 42. You have performance rights when you buy sheet music, but to have it on video, most creators need sync rights, which is crazy. It's just all these rights of rights and rights and rights and rights and all this other stuff. Rohan, what is going on? Philip Paul from Malaysia. Hello. Thanks for joining. John Cook. Update about the ATEM Mini factory reset. I actually uninstalled the entire I forgot to email you that. My apologies. Installed the entire ATEM software on the computer, did the factory reset, and the software is still, all of my settings are there. All right, let me show you that real quick because, again, my apologies for not following back up with you on that. Let me minimize all of the stuff so I can get back to my desktop. So for the factory reset, it resets the ATEM, but what's happening is John sent me a message saying that when he factory reset, everything keeps coming back. And that's because most of the time, and let me bring this up so y'all can actually see it. In here, when you have the autosave, it will automatically restore everything, even if you do a factory reset. So those files are there. So what files do you need to delete? We're going to hit the Windows key and the letter R, and we're going to do a percent app data percent. Open that up. That's going to take you here and your applications data under your roaming profile. We're going to go down here to Blackmagic Design. Actually, I think I'm in the wrong one. Let me look here first. They must have moved it. Local. Okay, it's under local and switch. No, that's this. Where did they move it to? All right, let's just go to our program files, and let's go to Blackmagic. All right, there's your ATEM switcher. So we need to be mindful of deleting this stuff inside of here. And then if we go to our documents, we're also going to go to the Blackmagic Design. Oh, here it is, ATEM autosave. They took it out the folder. ATEM autosave. You want to delete this. This is what's restoring your stuff. As you can see, it made a new every time I opened it from today. Delete that as well too, as well as delete your audio pool, because this is what's being restored every time your ATEM software opens back up and it communicates back with your ATEM. Try and go through those. And that, again, is under your documents. You should see an ATEM autosave and an ATEM media pool. All right. Hopefully that helps. And again, my apologies for not following back up with you. Mitch Roy, good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Let's see. All right. I already answered that question. Brandon, what's going on? All right, so I'm going back through the questions when we did our little Bible trivia stuff. Page 4, page 3. Joanne Gonzalez. Church is getting ready to go live stream. I'm just not confident enough yet, so I want to record my service first and do video editing. What simple editing software do you recommend for a beginner? Well, are you on Windows or Mac? If you're on Mac, use iMovie. That's already there included. And then a simple one. I mean, honestly, I don't want to say, well, it mainly depends on what system you got. Can you actually run it? I like DaVinci Resolve, but you do need to have a system that can run it. And there is a steep learning curve. But once you understand it, that whole mindset of video editing can work with any other program that you use. You just might need to learn which tool is which in the program, but the concepts are exactly the same. So if you're on Windows, I would say Movie Maker, download that from the store. That's easy and it's free. I would start there. So you got iMovie if you're on the Mac, that's already built in, or you have Movie Maker that you can download from the Microsoft Store. Page 3. Those are some answers to our trivia. All right. Back to John. That was fun, AJ. Always enjoy your Q&A. I make a trivia countdown every week before our weekly service. That's what I wanted to do as well too. So awesome. Darren wants to know, do you use Canva? Got a free pro account, but don't use it much yet. Any ideas? Yes, I do use Canva at my church, and I use it on occasion when I'm not in front of my computer. But, you know, you never know. We may be able to see if we can do that as a giveaway. Is that Anakin? That almost looks like Anakin for your profile. AJ, question. I am trying to put the lyrics on my stream. I have a Chromecast connected to the ATEM via the HDMI and wirelessly to the laptop. The problem I am having is HDCP is blocking the view on the ATEM. Yeah, I have that problem. Blackmagic has always done that. What you need to do is, let me show you how to do this. And please, I'm going to tell y'all how to do this. Don't be stupid with this, all right? So you need something that's actually going to strip off that. And I have one under my desk for the same reason, because when I do this, when I was streaming with my ATEM, ATEM and my PlayStation, it does the same thing. So here you go. This right here, the Amazon Basics splitter actually removes that. So you can get that, and that would strip out that, and it allows, you don't have to change the HDCP. It just doesn't handle it. It just doesn't send it, and that would work great for you. All right. As you can see, I bought those a while ago, and they work great. So I will put a link down below for that. Some of the Oris used to do that as well too. And again, I don't know if they've changed them or not, but I'm still using it and it still works for me. And that's the exact same one that I have. I don't want to disconnect it. It's right up under my table right now. All right. Timothy. Good morning. Are you familiar with how to use the Decimator Red converter box? Yes. It all depends which one you're using. Now, are you using a bidirectional or a single directional? I mean, for the most part, it should just be able to plug and play. What issue are you having with it? Let's see. And I guess I need to, yeah, y'all can see that on Facebook as well too. So I'm gonna make sure y'all are there. All right, we got some folks on the cruise here. I'm going into Facebook to see what's going on here. Okay, I see y'all's questions, folks. I'm gonna get to them on Facebook. I'm just waiting for them to come up on here as well too. What is the best way to solve camera shakes during service? Honestly, I am working on that as well too. What I really want to do is make something to do that, because that is a known issue. Even y'all haven't seen it yet. This is the video that is coming soon. This is the 4K Panasonic PTZ that I was telling you about. This has image stabilization inside of it. I mean, you can't go crazy with it, but it does handle it. But you got to think, the main thing that's going to work with it is you need to have some type of shock absorber. And I'm thinking about designing something, flashback to my CAD days. So I'm working on that, but that is a known issue, because I mean, I'll put it, you might want to try and reinforce whatever, how you have it mounted, stretch it across, maybe put like a beam, stretch it across multiple studs in the wall to brace it. Honestly, it's a work in progress that a lot of people have had issue with. Mitch Roy. Can an Intel Pentium CPU with 8 gigabytes of RAM and graphics work with Pro Presenter? It should. It's going to be a push. I would at least say double the memory, because it depends on what version of Windows you're running. Because Windows 10 at the minimum was 16 gigs of memory. Could you run it less than that? Yeah, you could, but that was just running just the program. That's why if you get a system, don't ever do anything less than 16 gigs. And it's about ready to be close to 32 now. I would double the memory. Memory is cheap. That's like $50 to be able to double that, if not a little bit lower. And it should, as long as you're not pushing nothing crazy, that should be able to. Mom's video. Good morning from the San Francisco Bay Area. First, thank you for the tutorial on how to update the X32. Hey, you are welcome. And now that it is updated, can I connect it from a computer through the network, or does it have to be hardwired? Yes, the X32 only does not have a built-in Wi-Fi. It will need to be connected over an Ethernet cable. But then anything on the network wirelessly can talk to it, but it does need to have a connection. Excuse me. Joseph Jefferson. Is there a way to integrate Kahoot with a presentation software? I don't know. I was playing with Kahoot the other day because somebody recommended that with me. I was going to use that as a way to capture everybody's answers to my trivia when they're watching online, but I didn't like the fact the free version automatically revealed the answer. I didn't want to do that. So that's why I didn't use that. But I'm not aware of it right now. I'm sure something could be done to interpret the text that's being put on the field and move it to something like that. Maybe using Python or something like that. I've done that before. Like back in the day when I used to pull ratings for states for the medical field, I would go to a website and then I would pull down a text version of the entire website in Python. And then I would scan each line and I would look for the breaks in the HTML and pull this out and extract it into a string, put it inside of an array. And then I was able to parse everything like that. I'm sure something like that will work. And if you didn't know what I was talking about, that's why I said Mike encouraged me to say, go ahead and just do the nerd stuff. So Princeton, what would be the upload speed ideal for live streaming? You said it plenty of times. At minimum, I would say I wouldn't go anything less than 10 megabits per second, preferably 15. So I know some people mess with me, but if y'all looked at some of my old videos, y'all know I was beyond excited to get back to Verizon Fios here. So I'll just show you. Again, this ain't, let me pick somewhere closer. This ain't bragging. I'm just showing you why my streams are a lot more stable than they used to be. All right, so that's the download. Come on, come on. And I could go faster, but I don't need to go faster. I used to have 1,000 up and 1,000 down. So we're around like 500 up and 500 down. That's what we're using right now. So I am streaming to 3 locations, all at 4K, and I'm not having any issues. So your upload speed makes the difference. Back to Travis. We have 0 ID on this side. Our pastor thought we could use 32 inches, trying to read it. Oh, no, 32 is beyond too small for that distance. From 45 to 60 feet, you're looking at least a 70 to a 75 to comfortably see that. That's what we did at New Hope at that same distance. 32 is going to look like about the size of a cell phone at that distance. You're not going to be able to read that. Back to Philip Paul. Hey, AJ, now I'm using one static camera for my live stream with OBS with a few scenes set at different part of the video, crop, enlarge, and other graphics. Can I do this on the A10 Mini Pro? No, you cannot. I mean, technically you can with a DVE, but you're going to be limited to one with that. So I would say no for that, unfortunately. Mike Jones. What's the best way to get audio to the ATEM Mini with a digital mixer? The ATEM is not picking up my audio signal. Well, what board are you coming from? Because everywhere else I've used a digital mixer. I'm doing either USB straight. I'm doing dual 1/4 inch or dual XLR out to a 3.5, and that's worked for me. That's kind of the setup I'm using right now. Let me know which mixer, and we can see what we can do for that. Streets of Destiny, considering a Rode Wireless Go 2, your thoughts on this and similar lapel mic and price? I like it. We had that at Signs and Wonders. I actually got away from it only because of all the tech that I have in there. For whatever reason, it would just go crazy in there. So we still use it for when we do other stuff, videos and stuff outside of the sanctuary. But in the sanctuary, no, I do not. What I moved my pastor to is the GTD audio live setup. Let me show you. This is the one I moved him to. Where is it at? Where is it at? I think it's not exactly this one, but it's this is what I have for him and Dr. Laura, his wife. So he has the headset with the halo that could be a lapel, but he uses the halo around his head, and then Dr. Laura uses the handheld mic. That's what I got them, and I got the This is the selectable channel. Yeah, I got the one that the channels can change. So that's what I use for them, and that works fine for me. And I'll put a link to that. Pastor's wireless mic set. And I'm going to put it in both because I'm not showing any love over here for the Facebook folks. Get over here. And while I'm doing that, folks, don't forget, man, we got our missionary cruise that is coming up. I am so excited about that. And I have the wrong, there it goes. Yeah, I'm excited about that. That's April 24th to the 28th. Man, we ain't going to have no meetings, nothing. It's just going to be relaxing because all of us have been working so hard. And hey, sometimes we just need a little vacation. This is going to be on the Liberty of the Seas. I took my friend Sonia on a similar cruise. I did a video about that. That was her first cruise. So, hey, we're going to the same locations. We're going to Coco Cay, and then we're going to Nassau. Just meant to relax. Love to meet y'all. Information is on the Facebook group. We got some really good deals for the prices of that are still in place. You've missed the opportunity to get a cruise credit, money for your room. I think they were giving $50 for every new person that's going in that time period. So that's not there, but the prices are still in place. All that information is in the Facebook group, folks. Love to see you there. I think we got a total of 16 people going so far. Roland from Switzerland. Awesome. Thanks for stopping by. Brandon, is it worth updating from the A10 Mini Pro to the Extreme? Yes, it is. Because the Extreme will give you the output, full HDMI output and your multi-view, and you don't have to choose between the two. You will always have that output. You have multiple. You can have it connected over USB and record at the same time, and you have other connections. So I think is a worthwhile update. Back to Travis. I was considering the Hisense or other lower priced ones from, say, Walmart, maybe Best Buy. Honestly, at this point, the tech has gotten so good. I've used Hisense, and you can't tell the difference, especially if you're mounting it high. No one's going to go up with a microscope or whatever, a projector, a Hubble, or whatever telescope they got, and be like, oh, I wanted the LG brand. I wanted the Samsung brand. Man, they're TVs at this point. Just stay away from Westinghouse, though. Westinghouse is garbage. Let's see. Can't see the name. It didn't pull up here on Facebook. Thank you for all you do. We're a small church in Columbus. We primarily stream to YouTube using Extreme ISO. Recently, we started using OBS, but the audio is awkward and sounds solo. Any help? Make sure in OBS, and I just did this with another ministry. I'm going to do some basic tips just as a refresher for anybody using OBS as well as the ATEM that you really need to be aware of that I know have been gotchas. So like right here, let me go back to my streaming that you're seeing me loop on for infinity. Make sure when you're doing stuff like this that you look at your audio, and let's go to settings. We go to audio. Make sure everything is disabled because this is global. Because right now you could have an audio issue. If you do default right here, as you can see, well, I have it muted right now. It would loop twice, and that would give you an echo. I personally like to be in completely control of every scene that I'm doing. I don't want no extras in my scene. So right here, I only want audio that's coming from here. I don't want to capture desktop audio. I don't want to capture mic audio unless I have placed it there on that given scene. Make sure you do that. That's one of the most common things I've seen because OBS has those things turned on by default. I would say watch out for those. Hello, Ray B from Muncie, Indiana. Cares of the Covenant. Hello. Darren got a PA for everybody. If you haven't started using Tailscale to be able to access files for your church remotely, then you're missing out. It's free. I will look into that. Thank you for that. And follow up, Darren. I'm saying run the service on your Synology. They run the service on their Synology NAS at the church, and then I just simply network shortcut. I'm going to do that because I have a NAS here. I have two NASs here in my network, and I have another one that I need to buy some drives for that I'm going to put at Signs and Wonders so that I can network that stuff. So thank you for that. MA16V3 talking about TechSoup. Does anyone know if TechSoup has Windows 11 keys? Today is a new build day, and I know that the 12600K is more efficient under Windows 11. I would say look up VIP, SCD VIP keys. That's where I get mine from. I would check that out. James Odin. Now, before I go into this, he's doing this. Be mindful of that with handles. Y'all can now tag me in everything with at AJ the CEO. You can do that in your comments. I want to be careful how I say this because people just go crazy. I had some daggone robot clown sent me this stuff, talking about sent me 27 emails because they just love my channel and they would love for me to do a review for them, and it's a daggone robotic vacuum. What does that have to do with media ministry? You didn't look at my channel. You just randomly grab people's stuff and look at it. Anyway, tangent. But you can send me a message and tag me, and that's what I'm gonna do now with my shorts, with answering back to other people as well too. All right, and I see from the poll that y'all said that y'all like the thumbnail, so I appreciate that. All right, but back to James's question. When using OBS to stream, what would cause certain devices not to hear the audio coming from the stream? It's on both platforms, Apple. That is the device itself. Now, one issue that I've had with older Android ones, they only had one speaker. So for whatever reason, it would take the signal, and instead of it being stereo, they would send it to one channel. That's why it wouldn't show up. Again, my mindset is unless everybody is complaining about it, it's not your issue. And I don't mean that meaning it's not an issue that there's something that you have to fix in your setup. Now, one thing you could do, which I personally wouldn't do unless you really had to, you could always come in here and you could change your stream, your audio. You can change it to mono and it would send the exact same thing over both channels. You could try that to see what it is. But most of the time it's a device and the speaker setup on the device. It's not necessarily something that y'all can do. Back to Timothy asking about the decimator. It's not converting the right format. All right, I need to know the model there. Single direction. I need to know the model. There should be some dip switches or something like that. I've used with bidirectional ones that had something like that. What is the source that is coming from as well too? Just need to make sure about that. What page are we on? Let's see. This page 2. All right. Jesus Faith Church. Hi, AJ. For live streaming 4K using vMix, would you go with an i1390 or a 5900X? I'm using a 5900X, so that's what I would use. That's what my video editing system is. I have a RTX 3900 Asus TUF 64 gig, considering the ProArt Z690 Wi-Fi Mobo. I would go with the 5900X just because that's what I've used, and it still is beating it in performance. All right, let's see. Kelvin, is it possible to use the USB out to an input on a separate ATEM Mini and then HDMI out to a 1x4 HDMI to Cat6 splitter for all the TVs downstairs? Don't want the program feed. Is it possible to use the USB out? No, you cannot. The USB out will not be converted that way. You would have to run it into like a program like OBS to convert it into a video signal, because it's sending that data stream like it's a webcam. That would be the only thing. So no, you can't do it directly like that, unfortunately. Let's go to page 1. And I really need to, let me shift this now so I can't see this. Oop. Come on now. I'm trying to change my layout so I'm not looking down. I can actually see this. Where are we at? All right, back to Travis. We weren't sure the best way to get the lyric scripture and occasional video from the booth to the balcony, Ethernet to Raspberry Pi or other. Honestly, you could go with something like this, which HD base T, and I still use this when I did the video. This is an Ori or HD base T, and this can go up to 400 feet. It can send video and audio over just an Ethernet, and it sends power. So you can have this, like right now, I have it plugged in here, and it was going to my camera back there, which I haven't used that camera at all today. So let me give it some love here. So like I said, this is how I had my screen tilted so I can see y'all see what I was talking about. But this is what I use for that, and that could help that, because then you only have to do a Cat 6. Actually, this can use it on Cat 5e, but I would do Cat 6, and I would send that, and that will work good for you as well too. Back to Princeton. We have a guy that will be broadcasting to BOGO Live. It's an app similar to Twitch. Do you know a way I can stream through OBS? I mean, if it's like Twitch, I'm sure it has a streaming setting for that service. If not, I mean, it should have a custom where you just get the name exactly for it. Yeah, I don't see it listed here in the list for OBS, but you would just get a custom. It should give you a streaming key and a URL. You just put it in on the OBS on the custom, and you should be fine. Steve, for camera vibration, would a rubber washer where the camera is mounting to the bracket work, or should it have been? That's what my thoughts. There are some very thick washers for a washer and dryer that stops the vibration. That was something I was going to play around with and see if that worked, to do that from a vibration standpoint as well. Kind of like a mixture of a shock absorber. Jared giving us suggestions for some simple video editing. Clipchamp, an easy video editor from Microsoft, is built into Windows 11. It can be downloaded from the Microsoft Store, and I have not heard of that one. So let's see, Store. Let's see if we can find it here. And of course, why is the Store taking forever to load? All right, there it goes. So you said Clipchamp. Might have to play around with that. Offers in-app purchases. Don't like that, but a good app, but it's still in beta. So I'll download that, and I will play around that and see what that's all about. Thank you for that. All righty. Again, folks, you know it's about that time for me to do it again. Hey, please make sure you hit that like button. I really appreciate it. We got 70 folks here. We got 36 likes. It really helps. It really does. Keith here. Hey, AJ, thanks for the help. Just returned from Micro Center. Got the TP-Link PoE switch with up to 153 watts. Good. That works. Keith was having an issue with his switch. Found out that the switch it was using wasn't PoE. That was causing an issue. So I think you should be good to go now. Awesome. Carriers of the Covenant. What percentage should you be concerned with on CPU and memory as too high? Honestly, anything over 50%, personally, I would think. But because you want to have a headroom for your computer to run in general. Anything going that high is going to start tanking the system. That's why I will call it. I like the program, but it's straight trash on how it uses the computer is Adobe After Effects. That thing will destroy my computer. I got 64 gigs of memory, fast GPU, fast processor, and for whatever reason, I can video edit 8K video with not a problem. But if I try to make a timer in After Effects, it eats up so much memory that Windows shuts down. It's just crazy. But yeah, I wouldn't. I personally, well, let me rephrase that. I would not like to go any higher than 60%. If you're going that high, you need to update your system. Anthony, after I stream and record our Sunday school lesson, OBS doesn't record or stream again until I completely restart the system. It only happens with OBS. What could be the issue that causes this? It might be an issue with the program. Some plugins or something like that have became corrupted or something like that, or it might be your profile. What I would do, Anthony, is make a new profile. The profile under OBS, all it does is it contains all of your settings. All right. So if you came in here and you make a new profile, as you see, I got a bunch of these. This is stuff left over from the emissionary conference, which we are working at it being in a physical location next year, but we will be streaming it as well too. Details coming soon. Make a new profile, which does all your settings. Just make a new one and try and stream and see if you have an issue. If you don't have an issue, the issue is somewhere in your profile. So you just got to blow away that profile and just make a new one. Again, the profile has nothing to do with your scenes. It only has everything to do with your settings, where you're streaming to, your canvas resolution, the output resolution, your bit rate, all that stuff. I would try that first, as well as where you're saving your files to and all that other stuff. John, as of right now, is 16. Last I heard. Aaron, thank you for the stars. I appreciate it. Philip Paul. So if I send my video to OBS, then process the cropping or graphics, then send to the HDMI input on the ATEM. Yeah, that's a way you can do it. They can do it. They can do it that way. There's a bunch of jumps, but that will work. Now, vMix would give you a lot more control like that, but if you're trying to do it natively in the ATEM, unfortunately, no, it does not offer that. All right, Mike Jones is saying he is using the Behringer XR18. I've used that. You shouldn't have any issues with that. Make sure that your ATEM is set to line. And in the XR18, there's a setting. I'm assuming that you're using the 1/4 inch out. Make sure you're do a left and right channel on 2 available 1/4 inch outs and join them together to be a left and right channel, and send that into the ATEM, and make sure that the whatever mic input that you're using is lined. I have that set up as Liberty Baptist Church. They have the exact same board and it works fine. So it's something in there. So you don't necessarily have to add anything new. What you got is enough. Maybe it's just a little configuration on the XR18 that needs to be done. All right, we got some people saying that. Mark, I just learned about Prism Live Studio. Your thoughts? Not a fan right now. I mean, it's good for its purpose. I really haven't done a deep dive. I've worked with some ministries who have used it, but they thought it was a good start. But again, I want to save my true opinion until I'm actually going back in there and messing around with it. I pronounce it Aya. Is it possible to have 2 outputs in one instance of Worship Extreme? One output as a lower third on the stream and the other as a regular output in the audience? Yes, I actually did a video about that. You would need one of the paid versions to do that. But for example, I will open up mine, and I'm sure it's going to say it's an update that's needed. No, it didn't. Oh, that's new. All right, so let me open up, and there goes my screen. Let me turn off that screen. I don't want that. And I didn't realize I still had ProPresenter open. All right, so we got this open right now. So inside of here, you need to make sure that you have a license to where it would allow you to do two. So I'm going to do this as a window right now. This is my, let me open this up. This is what I was using when I was doing my in-stream video. So like right now, you're seeing this output right there. That's coming from there. So if we go to our screens, that's our main output. Now I can do another one, and I will make this as a window just so you can see it, and I'll give it a resolution of 720p. Now I can force this to be in a lower third, and I don't want to show the foreground in the background. I mean, excuse me, I do want to show the foreground, and I want to force it as a lower third. So now we have this. So now if I come in here and say I want to put a background, I use the same image. I want to do scripture. I'll do James 1. All right, so if I go to this screen right now, when I launch this, this is what you see, all right? That was what would be going to the audience. But now if I cut back over here and I bring up the screen here, as you see, it's in a lower third. So yes, it can be done, but you need to make sure that you have one of the paid license. The free version will not let you do that. The free version will only give you an audience display, but it does work. And I need to make sure I turn that off, and I'm on the wrong camera. I need to make sure I turn that off so that it doesn't mess me up the next time I open this up. Let's delete that screen. And I think we're good. Yes, I want to close. Why are you so loud? Let's see. Isaac, what's the difference between the ISO, ATEM, and the non-ISOs? The ISOs will record, the regular one just records the master out. So like what you're seeing right now, if I was recording, it would be recording just that. The ISO records everything. So let me give you an example, because that's how I do my recordings. So let me show you my mess that happens out of this. So these are the videos that I have. And if I go to my last recording, so this is the YOLO Live video that I just did. When it records, it gives me, the ISO makes a DaVinci Resolve file that I can use, but it also, there's the ISO recordings. It records every single input that I've used. So it's going to record 8 inputs, each camera, 1 through 8. My media, if I was using that, everything. So that way I can come back and edit if I want to, but it also does the master program of what was done at the end. So like, I gotta be careful which cameras I pick when I play this. So if I play this, so see, this is the camera that I'm setting up for. That's the main program, but this is what everybody else is seeing. And that's my setup here, all right? But then if I do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, I do camera number 5. And I play this. This is nothing but the overhead, nothing else. So it records, the ISO records every single track, no matter what. So you can always come back, and it records the program. The non-ISOs only records the program. Chris, when miking up a drum set and in a cage, would you saying putting sound pads in front of the bass drum is mandatory? Well, every drum shield that I've set up, well, I don't think it would be mandatory. But like the drum shield that I set up at my home church actually has isolation pads inside of it. So that's just was the design of the layout. Other churches where I've done where it's just the shield, I didn't have anything. And no, I don't think it's mandatory at all. Jesus Faith Church here. Thank you, AJ, for the 5900X. What type of cooling would you recommend? Also, this is my first build. Thanks for the inspiration. I have to do it all, pastor, for a growing church. Hey, I totally understand. Now, for when you start getting higher than the 5700X line, you have to do water cooling. So I have done the NZXT Kraken cooler. I've used that. I've used it. Right now I'm using the Corsair. Hold on, I can't even remember which one it is. Hold on. Let's go over here and let's actually just look at it. That's Elgato. Let's see which one it is. So I'm using the H100i Elite. That's what I'm using right now to cool my processor right now. So we're doing good. I have it set on quiet. I actually need to crank it up a little bit. I set it as balanced, so it's going to get a little bit louder. So that's what I'm using for mine. And then I have a 50, I got another 5700 on my streaming system. I have the Kraken on that one. It's there. Back to John Cook. Having troubles when connecting USB-C to A10 Mini Pro. The switcher is not showing up in the setup software. Be mindful of the type of USB cable. I didn't realize these, but all USB-C cables are not the same. Some do not transmit data. Some are only power. Make sure that you don't have, you're not using the wrong type of cable and it doesn't send the connection. That's why when I found out that those Anchor, those red threaded ones that I use for Anchor work, that's why I always use those. And I've not had any issue. And I have had a problem. I bought some other Anchor ones, but they were charging only and they did not work. So just be mindful of that. Let me see. I will link the ones that I always use, and I'll just show you how often I use them. I've ordered these 15 times, so I use them all the time. It's a 3-pack, and they work great. That's what I'm using with all my stuff here, as well as all the other ministries that I do at ATEM for. So I will have a link here so you can use that if you are interested. Anchor USB-C cables. And show some love to the Facebook fam over here. I'm doing good, folks. I didn't even have my water, and I am doing good. We're going to see. We go probably a little bit longer here. Travis wants to know, which video did you go over the HD Base T? I will link it for you. And let's see. AJ, the CEO, HD Base T. All right, so I actually did a couple of these. So, so we got a bunch. I did the 4-unit one. We also have, this is the one that I just showed you that I had right in front of my hand. No, actually, this one is the one that I just showed. But we did a bunch of these. Yeah, so this is the one that I actually held up right here. So I will get a link for that for you. And let's see. Anthony wants to know, with the A10 Mini, is the multi-view available? No, not the A10 Mini. The A10 Mini Pro, it is. Richard, our ministry uses a Mac to stream to Facebook using OBS. We are wanting to stream to YouTube simultaneously with Facebook. What is the best solution? Restream. Restream would be the best. Again, it's I don't think the multi-RTMP works with the Mac, because that was a plugin that somebody made. So Restream would be the easiest for that. Rich Raider, what would you recommend for a video camera to reach 40 to 60 feet on a budget with PTZ? Trying to think. I have a smaller SMTP. I mean, you at that distance, it's easier to say it's go with a 20x zoom. you can get a most of these other cameras you can get that around $630 because they actually dropped the price a lot more. So what would I use for that? Oh, and also I hope y'all check. Let me before I do this, big shout out to A Video One. I don't know if y'all followed this or not. They gave me 20 discount codes for their PTZ, and it was left in the comments. So I don't know if anybody even saw it, because I don't think anybody acted on it. But I want to shout that out before I even go anywhere further with that. So while I pause this, if you scroll down here, there are some codes. There are 10 discount codes, excuse me, that you can get. I forgot the percentage off that they have, but these codes work on Amazon. All right. Go back to this video if you want to get that. All right. So now, but if we go over to the cameras, you know, you can get something like this, or from that distance, let's look at the SMT AV 20X, 12X, excuse me. So you could get a 12X that would, you'd be in sub $500. This is what I'm using at Shiloh Baptist Church, because they have pillars in the middle of the sanctuary. So I can't put a PTZ in the back. So this PTZ is going to be mounted on the very front pillar that's about 10 feet away from the pulpit. So this could work. It does have HDMI output, and it is PoE powered, and it can be controlled with a joystick over IP. So all of this could work for you, and you're looking at sub $500 for that. And again, I didn't do a video on that because honestly, at this point, a lot of these cameras are exactly the same. I do have the Panasonic that I'm going to review, and that one is 4K. It has a software attachment that you would pay for, but it can do tracking. It has image stabilization. It's a beast. It's a beast. So be on the lookout for that. I do have another camera. Can't see it. It's right there. That is from a vendor that I was telling y'all about, that they do PTZs that caters only to the European market. In that whole side. So anybody who's done reviews, when y'all came here and said, oh, I like that camera, but it's not in my area. If you're in the European, you're in Asia, Africa, anywhere there, that company sponsors that's where they ship to only. So be on the lookout for that video. That literally came in the mail the other day. I don't know if you saw my YOLO live video. I see 2 boxes came in. That was the second one. So we're going to be working on that. But this is the camera that I would recommend. And I guess I need to put a link while I'm talking about it. Sub 500 PTZ for that distance. That should work. But honestly, I would say go ahead and do the extra 200 and go for the 20X. But, you could always try this out, and if it doesn't work, return it and then get the other one. All right, Steve. We use vMix with a 4-port HDMI card. What would you recommend to record the 4 inputs coming in like the ISO? Change your license with vMix. There's a higher license with vMix that does allow that. If that's an issue, honestly, the cheaper thing to do is put an A10 Mini ISO in between it. Put an A10 Mini ISO Pro in between it, and that would be the easier, more cost-effective way. Because you're going to get this. They dropped the price of this up to I think $495, $595, and this is the ISO that gives you the 4 inputs that does that. That's what I would think would be the most cost-effective way of that. Any other stuff would cost way more than any of those other devices. John, back to your question you're saying about the cable. I'm using the same cable as I was successfully before I deleted those files. Hopefully, there was not a connection issue that the USB didn't break loose from the motherboard or on either side, on the computer or on the ATEM, unfortunately. That's the only thing I can think. I had a similar issue with the USB-C cable, updated the ATEM Mini Pro software, and it was recognized on the computer. Okay. Might want to try that. All right, folks. I think I think we did good today. We went a little bit longer. Make sure, folks, that you go ahead and hit and join the Facebook group so that this conversation keeps going on. Again, you are an expert in something, and the things that you know are in high demand. And again, your knowledge can help out another ministry on the other face of the planet, on the other side of the planet, and as well. And this is about us working together because, hey, if you win, we all win. It's not about competition. It's about complementing each other. That's what it's all about. And again, I want to give a big shout out to all of my Patreon supporters and YouTube members. We have some new ones here. So again, thank you so much for your continued support. You too can become a patron for as little as $1 a month by going to patreon.com/AJaytheCEO, or you can become a YouTube member by clicking the join button down below. We do a lot of features when we do giveaways. Their names are automatically entered twice. Some levels are given 1 month, a free consultation every single month with that. So those folks that have that, I haven't got nothing from y'all in a minute. Hey, just know it's still there. They also, all of those get a discount on stuff that's on my website as best as we possibly can. And again, all that money is funneled back into ways that we do bless this house, where we go bless other ministries and things like that, because even though I'm in a house, I don't have all the space for everything. And we just want to do something to give back. All right. It ain't about just me buying stuff and making my stuff, all this, and this. Honestly, my prayer is, God, give me more so I can give more back. If y'all only knew how much stuff I do give away, I have to sometimes ask in prayers, like, am I doing too much? Because I enjoy helping. I just know what it was when I didn't have anything, and I just want to make your journey a lot easier than all the stuff I had to go through. So that's the purpose of what we do. That's my ministry. That is my calling in this season. So if no one's ever told you, thank you for everything that you're doing. It takes a unique person to want to learn the stuff that might not be in your wheelhouse, might not be what you went to school for, might not even be an interest, but you were called for what you're doing, and I appreciate that. And sometimes what we do is the most thankless job, but I want to take this moment to tell all of y'all, and more importantly, you, yes, you, the one that you don't think I'm talking to, you, thank you for what you're doing, because something would be missing if you weren't there, and you are important. What you do brings something to this ministry that we need. So thank you for what you're doing. Continue keeping it up. Hey, I'm in the fight with you. So if you ever wanted to talk, make sure you join that roundtable, folks. If you've never been a part of it, you don't know what you're missing. So be on the lookout for some other videos we got going around. I got to get over to my church and set up a photo booth real quick. But thank you so much, folks. Really appreciate it. Love y'all, and we'll be seeing y'all in the next video, folks. Later.